Hey, this is Mark Schwartz from MTC Media, and welcome to another episode of So Long Tobacco Road, where we take a look at the ACC. This episode is brought to you by MTC Media and Communications for all your web needs, data-driven layouts, accessibility requirements. Contact MTC Media and Communications at mtcmediallc.com. So we're going to look at the game of the week, upset of the week, and the game that you need to keep an eye on. And of course, the game of the week, all eyes are going to be on Durham, North Carolina, where Duke hosts Notre Dame. Both teams being ranked, not something that you get to say every year. You know, Duke has definitely improved under head coach Mike Elko. The Blue Devils started out the season with a 28-7 win over Clemson. And then people kind of forgot about them. But what I found that's jumped out at me with Duke is what they've done in the other three games. 42-7 over Lafayette. 38-14 over Northwestern. 41-7 over UConn. Now, on the surface, you say, well, that's games they should win. Look at who they play. But it's how they're winning them. It would be different if those games were 24-20 or shootouts like 41-35. No, what Duke did was they dominated the way good teams, ranked teams, should dominate opponents like that. So that to me jumps out definitely of where that Duke program is, and that's in a good place, going in a good direction. Now, for one of their big keys to playing against Notre Dame, it's going to be that running game. Jordan Waters and quarterback Riley Leonard need to lead a strong ground and pound game, which will open up and keep pressure off of quarterback Leonard when they want to go to the passing game. It allows them to be more creative in their passing game. It allows them to be safer in their passing game against a Notre Dame defensive backfield that's pretty darn good, especially on the corners. So staying ahead of the chains for Duke would allow them to be able to attack Notre Dame underneath on defense. And then, of course, speaking of defense, Duke's defense will have to contend with Notre Dame's offense, especially their running game, something that North Carolina State did not deal with very well earlier in the game. So definitely all eyes are on Durham come Saturday, and it's our ACC game of the week. Now, upset of the week, I like UVA traveling to Boston College. UVA is getting 3.5 points. There's a great chance I think they can win this outright, which is why it's my upset. The Cavaliers are seeking their first win of the year. This is not one of those, they're due picks. I think if you look closely, Virginia is starting to do some things well under head coach Tony Elliott. The Cavaliers have shown a level of explosiveness under true freshman Anthony Calandria starting at quarterback there, and that's tough. You know, we're in an era where so many portal transfers, red shirts and stuff like that. This is a true freshman who is getting better every game. And they had an extra day to prepare. They played North Carolina State on Friday. And the reason why I feel like Virginia has improved some, if you look at the blowout loss, they got off to this fast start. Then it got blown out by Maryland. After scoring the first 14 points, they gave up the next 42. Against NC State, not necessarily a fast start, but they were closing that game out. And that's why I mean about showing improvements from UVA. What they need to do is they need to quit making kind of the catastrophic errors. Sometimes Calandria makes a pass he knows he should not make. The silly penalties. I think it was 3 straight plays in a row against NC State where they get unsportsmanlike conduct. And a game with less than a minute left, including on what proved to be the game-winning field goal for NC State. Those things are things that I'm sure they'll be addressed this week and things that need to be cut out. But Virginia, again, is showing improvement. And then on the other side, Boston College, After they played a close game against Florida State, which we all knew was a look-ahead game for Florida State because they were heading to Clemson, Boston College returned to being Boston College when they lost 56 to 28 to Louisville. The defense has not been there all year for the Golden Eagles. So my key to victory for UVA is run the ball, and their running game has not been efficient. Let's be clear about that. It hasn't been efficient, but run the ball enough to put Calandria in good decision making play calls. And, get that 2nd and 5, get that 2nd and 4, those type of things. Then when you set BC up, Malik Washington could have a huge game for the Cavaliers come Saturday, and they'll have a great chance to win. They are definitely my upset pick of the week in the ACC. And the game to keep an eye on is Clemson at Syracuse. Clemson will have to respond to a tough overtime loss to Florida State when they head to Syracuse. There's no doubt that the Tigers are the better team. We don't have to start breaking down why they're the better team. With that being said, going on the road after such a tough loss and such a emotional loss could keep this game close. Now, Syracuse is undefeated against competition that's not going to be Murderers Row, right? But I do expect for Clemson to win, but I also expect for Cuse to keep this close, being at home. And it's going to be a game to keep your eye on. So thank you for joining me for the latest episode of So Long Tobacco Road. This is your host, Marcus Washington from MTC Media, and have a great weekend.